Disney Pixar, you guys know them. They make all the great, a lot of the great animated movies, the Toy Story movies, The Incredibles, Ratatouille. They just made Inside Out this year, which was one of the best movies of the year. They have another movie coming out later this year, The Good Dinosaur. And Disney is killing it. They have three of the biggest properties in Star Wars, Marvel, and Pixar. And there was quite a bit of news to come out of Pixar. I'm really surprised, and I'm falling in love with Pixar with every movie they do. You know, I loved Inside Out. So, and they kind of gave us a little bit of a slate. Not really. They didn't give us necessarily all the movies and their release dates, but they gave us a poster and a little bit of some ideas of what to expect in the coming years from Pixar. So, Gio, what came out of the Pixar department from D23?
Yes, sir. First thing we're going to talk about is Toy Story 4. Now, a lot of fans aren't really excited about Toy Story 4, and I mean, the reason why is because Toy Story 3 ended the trilogy so well. It closed the chapter. No more. That's the end of Woody and Buzz. We don't need any more, right? But John Lasseter came out and said that this will not necessarily serve as a direct sequel to the trilogy or continue the story, so to speak, but serve as a like a standalone kind of romance between Woody and Bo Peep, who was missing from Toy Story 3. So John Lasseter was president at D23 and spoke about how the narrative hook will propel the story forward. Basically, Bo Peep is missing from Toy Story 3, as I just said. Woody and Buzz go out on an adventure to find her and bring her back. And Lasseter is calling it a very special and emotional love story, one that he pulled from his personal inspirations, and is extremely funny. That's pretty much all we got as far as Toy Story 4. So we're pretty much just taking John Lasseter's word, which is a pretty strong word when you look at what Lasseter has done for Pixar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, go ahead. Toy Story 4.
I am so ashamed to admit this, but I have not seen Toy Story 3. And
you're a failure.
Oh, man.
I know. What's wrong with me? I grew up on Toy Story. If I could pick one movie that maybe I watched the most as a kid, it's Toy Story, the original Toy Story. Toy Story 2 is a great movie, but I didn't like it as much as the first Toy Story. Okay. But I heard Toy Story 3 is incredible. And I heard there's a lot of emotional stuff in there. Just thinking about watching it got me excited because I might go watch it today. Like, I really will.
Well,
so
let's pause the podcast and go watch it. And then
I know, real quick. No, so it's hard for me to, so I can't really see how they're going to jump from 3 to 4 because I haven't seen 3, but I feel like Toy Story 3 probably ends Andy's story and his involvement with these toys. And now they can, whether they belong to another human going forward or not, I think they can keep this going on forever. Toys don't age. So they can go on forever. Jake, are you excited for Toy Story 4 and the information that came from it?
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. I mean, Toy Story, along with Star Wars, is kind of my childhood.
Oh, yeah.
And I have seen Toy Story 3. And,
oh, really?
I think that, it did end well, but I'm not surprised that they're going forward. And I like that they're kind of taking a different approach to it, too, with the whole almost damsel in distress kind of thing, But it's going to be fun. Some of the best parts of the whole franchise is the Woody Buzz relationship. So, obviously the other characters from the other movies are going to be in there, but to see that they're going to really focus on Woody and Buzz is pretty cool. It's definitely going to be cool to see a different aspect of the movie. So.
Oh yeah, I'm curious. I'm wondering because it sounds like humans aren't even going to be in the movie. That's what it sounds like to me. But who knows? They could just be in the background like they always were. All right. Well, also coming out of Pixar was some information regarding the sequel to Finding Nemo, Finding Dory. And those of you who are familiar with Finding Nemo, she was a fan favorite side character. She was one of the main characters in Finding Nemo. And as far as I know, this story is going to take placed 6 months after the events in Finding Nemo. Gio, why don't you go ahead and run down some of the information that came out of Finding Dory?
Yeah, so director Andrew Stanton spoke at D23. He directed Finding Nemo, so he's back for the sequel, which is awesome. And he basically spoke about the film, basically saying that Dory's a charming, forgetful fish, one that we all love. And if we want to dig into her backstory and figure out, where is she from? What's her story? I mean, because in Finding Nemo, all we've known from her is she's just a fish who's wandering, who makes friends with Marlin.
Oh, yeah.
To go find Nemo, and she ended up being a pretty lovable character. Everyone I know pretty much loved her. So basically, they weren't confident in moving forward until they knew they had another story to tell, and this is the story of Dory. So after he spoke some words, Ellen DeGeneres, who voices Dory, came on stage.
Oh,
with
nice.
Ed O'Neill.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Who plays Hank the octopus, and Ty Burrow, who plays an unnamed beluga whale. That's cool. They all took the stage, and they presented a short clip basically showing that Dory struggles to remember where she's from. And she finally, after some time, realizes that her parents don't know where she is. So it's kind of on both sides. They want to know, where is she, and so on and so forth. So she convinces Marlin, who just went on a crazy adventure to find his son, to go help her find her parents. And so after some time, Marlin decides to, okay, I'll go help you. And they go on another adventure.
Yeah, I'm not losing my mind over a sequel to Finding Nemo coming out, but I'm gonna be there in theaters when it comes out. I loved Finding Nemo. It's a great little film. This excites me because I didn't think that Marlin and Nemo were gonna be in the movie. And if they're in the movie throughout the whole thing, that's exciting to me. I thought it was going to be like a prequel, honestly, like showing her background. But even though we are going to get a lot of information on her past, I'm just excited to see them three together again. Are you looking forward to Finding Dory at all?
Yeah, I am, but I thought Finding Nemo.
It's not your most anticipated movie of 2016.
I thought Finding Nemo ended so well, and I kind of like when Pixar does original films only, other than like the Toy Stories,
right.
obviously. But it excites me because I read some character descriptions and stuff, and there's a whale shark who thinks she's a whale, not a shark, and they're kind of going with these quirky characters that go alongside Dory. So it fits in. I don't know if I'll love it as much as Finding Nemo. I might, but. I like that they're kind of taking, because Dory did become one of the more favorable characters of that movie, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
And I love seeing that they're taking a different approach and stuff like that. I love that. I forget who's cast as for Dory's mom, but it was some name that I really
Diane
liked.
Keaton?
That's what it was. Yeah, it was Diane Keaton and Dory's mom,
Nice.
which is pretty cool. So it's going to be cool to see the relationship between, when we see it at least, Dory and her parents whenever that happens. So.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's not, the sequel's not necessary, but it'll be cool. It's not a bad thing. So also to come out of Pixar, nothing we're going to talk about too much, but they announced a new film that they're working on called Coco, and it's supposed to be revolve around the Mexican holiday, the Day of the Dead. And Gio, was there any other things regarding that movie that was interesting, or?
Yeah, so director Lee Unkrich, who did Toy Story 3, basically talked about how the film's inspired by the Mexican holiday, Dia de los Muertos. Oh god, my Spanish is horrible. I'm sorry, you guys.
That was pretty good, honestly.
Yeah. So the name of the film, Coco, is pretty much comes from the main character, which is a 12-year-old boy growing up in rural Mexico. The director said the film was inspired by the juxtaposition of skeletons with bright festive colors, because for anyone who's seen the holiday and the celebration, it's pretty colorful, and visually it's amazing to look at. It really is. It's something special. So they showed a short clip, pretty much showed some skeletons and bright colors dancing and playing music. If anything, it's a very spiritual, fun, beautiful film. I can't really say too much. I haven't seen it, but based off of what we're, going off of here, it looks like it could be pretty fun and something for Pixar to explore.
What was that movie that came out last year that was based on the Day of the Dead as well? Do you guys remember that animated film? I'm trying to look it up. I know Guillermo del Toro produced it, but anyways, I don't know. This movie doesn't excite me as much because that movie came out recently. Why can't I think of the name? Oh, The Book of Life. That's the movie. It sounds very similar to that. So I don't know how. And that movie wasn't received well critically. So that doesn't mean this one's not going to be either. But I don't know. It just sounds so similar. And I think people are going to be like, wait, wasn't there a movie that just came out like that? And it's going to turn people away. But does this sound exciting to you at all, Jake?
I mean, anything Pixar kind of sounds
Pixar,
exciting to me.
that's the thing.
But if you don't know what the Day of the Dead is, you can see that this fall in Spectre in the opening scene.
That's true.
Hey, there you go.
But
Nice
no, I
reference.
mean, yeah, it's Pixar. I'm sure I'm gonna go see it just because it's Pixar. It's what they do, and I like them seeing them going out of the realm of their box. Going to different countries and different, using diversity of things around the world. So it's cool. I'll wait till I see any kind of footage or anything. But yeah, I mean, Pixar name on it, I'm in. So.
No, you're right. It sounds. I didn't think about that because pretty much all their movies are based in America, and it's centered around American characters. So I'm curious to see what Pixar can do in a different culture. And if it's Pixar, I'm there. I'm in theaters. I'm there. So, Gio, does this excite you, man? I know you talked about it a little bit, but.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, just to see Pixar, dive into something else. And if there's anything that we know from Pixar is that their stories have heart, they're very fun, emotional, and all that. And we're just going to see this holiday celebration get introduced to general audiences everywhere.
That's true.
And so this is good, and knowing Pixar, they're going to take care of this and handle it with much care.
I think so.
So, yeah, guys, look out for Coco. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, a couple other things from Pixar. I believe they showed a picture with a bunch of posters on it, right? Was that official from D23?
Well, someone took a picture of like 5 posters in a row. And
included in that was Cars 3, Y, and The Incredibles 2, yes, please. So, anything you guys excited for any of those movies? Or obviously, Incredibles 2, everyone's looking forward to.
Yeah, I like how they did the they split the I in half.
Like Roman numerals, yeah.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
that was cool. And Cars 3, if it makes money, Disney and their
That's all that
merchandising.
one. That's a cash grab if I've ever seen one. Because Cars 2 was not good.
We don't know, Yeah. I mean, yeah. And also,
it's for the kids, guys.
Yeah.
For the kids.